Hey there, I'm Rosanine, and I met some people who have been interested in trying World vs. World, but just don't know how to get started. World vs. World and competitive game modes in general can be intimidating, so I'm going to show you how you can get started quick and easy. So the first thing is, what is World vs. World? World vs. World is a large-scale PvP mode where 3 servers fight against each other for control over objectives. These objectives are supply camps, towers, keeps, and Stone Mist Castle. Over time, Dolex from supply camps will travel and bring supply to the other objectives to tier them up, making them worth more points, as well as harder for an enemy to take. The tier of an objective is shown by these little shield icons. Players can also stop by supply camps to take supply that is used to repair walls and gates, or to build siege weapons. While there is supply at towers and keeps that can be taken as well, it is typically recommended to take from supply camps when possible, since these camps generate supply on their own, while objectives require Doliacs to bring the supply from camps. When objectives are under attack, the enemy will cut off the supply line to that objective, making it important to ensure there is always supply at an objective your server intends to defend. There are multiple different ways to play and help your server in World vs. World. In this video, I will talk about 2 ways, zerging and roaming. Zerging is when you follow a commander on the map along with a large group of players, taking all possible objectives. This usually results in large-scale fights. Roaming is when you play on your own or with a small party to take supply camps and low-tier towers or keeps, preventing the enemy server from tiering up their objectives. This usually results in 1v1s or small group fights. So now that you know the basics of what World vs. World is, let's just jump right in. You can enter through the World vs. World window, which is hotkeyed to B, or by clicking the castle button in the top left corner. There are then options to enter these 5 different maps. Now the main maps in World vs. World are these 4, the Eternal Battlegrounds and the 3 Borderlands. So I'm going to go ahead and enter Eternal Battlegrounds. Now, in World vs. World, you will have a completely different build saved from PvE. So the first thing you'll need to do is set up your build. For this, I recommend going to metabattle.com, selecting the World vs. World game mode, and then finding a build for your class. So here it is important to note that there are 2 sections for World vs. World builds. You got the Zerg builds and the small scale builds. You'll want to make sure you choose a build from the correct section for what you intend to do in World vs. World, since the builds will differ greatly. Now, to start zerging, simply find a commander on your server, join their squad by left-clicking on the tag on the map, and start following them. It is important, especially as a new player, to keep an eye on the chat, since commands will often be given in chat if you are not in a voice channel with the squad. When following a commander, you may notice them gliding. If you have the Heart of Thorns expansion, you will be able to glide once you unlock the gliding ability. To find this ability and unlock it, click on the castle button or open the World vs. World window. On the side menu here, if you go to the very bottom, you'll see rank and abilities. Once you go there, you'll see all the abilities you can unlock in World vs. World. And at the very bottom is the War Gliding Mastery. Once you have the first level, that will allow you to glide in territories your world owns. To start roaming, simply find an objective on the map that is not owned by your server, go there, and just kill everything there. When capturing an objective, there will be NPCs there guarding it, as well as the Lord. The Lord must be killed for the capture circle to appear, and after that, NPCs or enemy players standing in the circle must be killed for the circle to begin capturing for your server. Something to note is that objectives will be protected from capture for 5 minutes after it has been taken, a mechanic known as RI, which stands for Righteous Indignation, a buff that will make the objective lord invulnerable. Make sure the objective you are going after is not protected by mousing over its icon. Again, try to keep an eye on the chat, since other players will typically report where the enemies are and if they are attacking your server's objectives, in which case you can try to help defend if you are nearby. That's all for now. Have fun.